Welcome back, Daily Hunters. It's Monday, May 25th, 2026, and you're tuned in to the Daily Hunt Review Special. I'm Ethan, ready to talk all things growth.
And I'm Brooke, here to keep us grounded and focused on those key performance indicators. Now, Ethan, listeners might be wondering why we're doing a review special today instead of our usual new insights.
Great question, Brooke. Yesterday was actually a pretty quiet day on the market. Our AI, for all its brilliance, just didn't identify any standout, fresh opportunities. So instead of forcing it, we decided to take a look back. It's a perfect chance to revisit some of the stocks our AI flagged earlier this month.
Exactly. We're rolling back the clock to the week of May 11th through May 15th, 2026, to see how those initial AI-generated insights panned out. It's always insightful to examine past market commentary and learn from real-world performance.
All right, let's jump right into the big wins first, because wow, what a performer we had. Brooke, can we just talk about Intuitive Machines, ticker LUNR? This one was flagged as a buy on May 12th at just $31.28, and it just soared. At yesterday's close, it was sitting pretty at $38.27. That's an incredible 22.35% gain.
Well, Ethan, it certainly shows what's possible when the underlying factors align. Intuitive Machines was flagged as a buy for a reason, and that 22% growth, it's not just a peak. It held solid right through yesterday's close. This wasn't some quick spike that immediately fizzled out. It demonstrated sustained upward momentum over a period of 10 days. It's a testament to the AI identifying a robust opportunity based on its internal models.
Absolutely. Holding that gain, that's beautiful. What a fantastic example of a growth story playing out. Seeing that kind of appreciation over a relatively short period while maintaining those gains is really what we're looking for when our AI signals a strong potential.
On the flip side, we do have to acknowledge the one that didn't quite hit the mark, and in fact, dipped significantly. I'm looking at Reddit, ticker RDDT. Our AI flagged this as a buy on May 12th at $155.93. While it did see a slight bump to its highest point, just a 3.06% increase, it couldn't sustain that. It closed yesterday at $141.70, which is a disappointing 9.13% down from its initial mention price.
Reddit. It had a little pop initially, and then, that slide. Market sentiment can be fickle, I guess.
It's more than just sentiment, Ethan. It's a stark reminder that even AI-generated buy insights carry risk. The slight initial gain might have been some early opportunity, but the subsequent decline, the nearly double-digit percentage drop, underscores the importance of actively managing positions and setting your own risk parameters. This is speculative analysis, after all, and not every insight plays out as predicted.
All right, let's quickly hit the others then, because there were some other interesting movements. Rocket Lab, RKLB, this was a speculative gamble for us on May 11th, and it really paid off, up over 18% at yesterday's close. That's a fun one to watch.
Indeed, RKLB showing that sometimes a calculated risk in the speculative gamble category can yield significant results. It saw its highest point at a 20% gain and held much of that. Nokia, NOK, another speculative one from May 12th, also delivered, up nearly 17%. These higher risk AI flags really outperformed for this period, which is quite interesting data.
Then we have Microsoft, MSFT, our tech giant, flagged as a buy on May 12th, just steadily chugging along, up a modest but reliable 2.34% at yesterday's close. Classic Microsoft just doing its thing.
Consistent, as expected from a mature company like Microsoft. And Hut 8 Corp, HUT, a cautious buy on May 12th, saw a very respectable 5.37% gain. It hit its highest point very quickly, a 10.06% increase, and managed to maintain a good portion of that, showing positive momentum.
And finally, Micron Technology, MU. It was a buy on May 11th, and it had a good jump right out of the gate, up over 5% on the first day. But then it pulled back, closing slightly down by 2.39% from its initial mention price. Shows how quickly things can change in the market, even for solid companies.
Precisely, Ethan. MU illustrates the importance of timing and vigilance. Even strong companies can experience volatility shortly after an AI-generated insight, and it's why monitoring performance is key for any speculative analysis.
So overall, a pretty interesting week for our past AI flags from May 11th to 15th, wouldn't you say, Brooke? Our AI-generated insights, on average across all categories, showed a return of over 7%, handily beating the major indices like the Dow, S&P 500, and NASDAQ for the same period.
Absolutely, Ethan. While not every pick was a home run, and as we saw with Reddit and Micron, there can be pullbacks. The aggregated data does show a strong average performance compared to the broader market, which is encouraging. It highlights the potential when our AI spots these trends and generates market commentary.
Fantastic. Well, that wraps up our look back at the week of May 11th to 15th. Thanks for joining us for this special review episode.
And before we go, a very important reminder. The content and AI-generated insights discussed here are based on historical data and market commentary from artificial intelligence. It is not indicative of future results, and while our AI strives for accuracy, it might make mistakes. This is for informational and entertainment purposes only, and should not be considered as a basis for making investment decisions. Always conduct your own thorough research or consult with a licensed financial advisor before making any investment choices. Your capital is at risk.
Absolutely. For Brooke and myself, Ethan, thank you for tuning in to the Daily Hunt Review Special. We'll be back tomorrow with more fresh insights.